Selim I, also known as Selim the Grim, was one of the most significant and transformative rulers in Ottoman history. His reign, though relatively short from 1512 to 1520, left an indelible mark on the Ottoman Empire and set the stage for its golden age under his son, Suleiman the Magnificent. Selim I's legacy is not just one of territorial expansion and military conquests, but also one of consolidating the power of the Ottoman Sultanate and solidifying its position as a dominant force in the Muslim world. When Selim I ascended to the throne in 1512, the Ottoman Empire was already a formidable power, but it faced challenges both from internal and external sources. The empire was expanding rapidly, but it was also becoming increasingly difficult to manage the vast territories it had acquired. This was compounded by rising tensions with neighboring empires, especially the Safavids in Persia and the Mamluks in Egypt, both of whom had territorial ambitions that threatened the Ottomans' influence in the region. One of Selim's earliest acts upon coming to power was securing his position by ruthlessly eliminating threats to his rule within the royal family. He had his brothers killed, consolidating power and removing potential rivals. This decisiveness, though harsh, allowed him to focus on external threats and cement his authority. The most significant aspect of Selim I's reign was his military campaigns, which dramatically expanded Ottoman territory. Selim I is particularly remembered for his conquest of the Mamluk Sultanate, which controlled Egypt and the Levant. The Mamluks were powerful in the region but had become divided and vulnerable to external pressures. Selim I capitalized on this weakness, launching a successful military campaign against them in 1516 at the Battle of Marj Dabik. Selim decisively defeated the Mamluk forces, marking the beginning of Ottoman dominance over Egypt and the Levant. The conquest of Egypt was not only a significant military achievement, but also had profound religious and political implications. Egypt was home to the revered Islamic holy cities of Mecca and Medina. By defeating the Mamluks and taking control of Egypt, Selim I was able to position the Ottomans as the new custodians of the holy cities, which further strengthened the empire's religious legitimacy. This victory also marked the beginning of Ottoman rule over the entire Arab world, solidifying their influence in the Muslim world. Following the Mamluk defeat, Selim I continued his military campaigns to the east. In 1514, he waged war against the Safavid Empire in Persia, another significant Muslim power. The Safavids, who followed Shia Islam, were in direct religious and political conflict with the Sunni Ottomans. Selim I's decisive victory at the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514, despite the Safavids' use of superior cavalry, was a pivotal moment in Ottoman-Safavid relations. The battle not only secured Ottoman control over the strategic region of Mesopotamia, but also solidified Selim's authority over the eastern territories, which would become crucial for the empire's future. Selim's reign also saw significant changes in the religious and administrative structure of the empire. The conquest of Egypt and the annexation of the holy cities gave the Ottoman sultans the title of Caliph, leader of the Muslim world. While the title had been held by the Abbasid caliphs in Baghdad before their fall, Selim's acquisition of Mecca and Medina gave the Ottomans the religious authority they had long sought. This title reinforced the Sultan's role not only as a political leader, but also as a spiritual figure, the protector of Islam. This religious legitimacy played a key role in Selim's military campaigns, as well as in unifying the empire's diverse and far-reaching territories under Ottoman rule. Selim I also played a critical role in strengthening the military and administrative foundations of the empire. The Ottoman military had already been a formidable force, but Selim expanded and modernized it. He continued the Ottoman tradition of using a powerful standing army, the Janissaries, and relied heavily on siege warfare and artillery. both of which had been increasingly effective in expanding the empire's borders. The empire's naval power was also reinforced, ensuring that the Ottomans had dominance over key trade routes in the Mediterranean, Red Sea, and beyond. Selim I's focus on centralizing authority within the empire had long-lasting effects on the structure of Ottoman governance. While his reign was brief, his expansion of the empire's borders and consolidation of power laid the foundation for his son, Suleiman the Magnificent, to continue this success. Selim's military conquests allowed Suleiman to inherit a far larger empire, with a stronger military and religious authority than any of his predecessors. Selim I's ability to blend military power with religious legitimacy ensured that the Ottoman Empire's rule was unquestioned across the Middle East and beyond. His military campaigns not only expanded the empire's borders, but also secured the loyalty of Muslim subjects, who saw the Ottoman sultans as the defenders of Islam. His conquest of Egypt and the Levant marked the Ottoman Empire as the undisputed power in the region, and his legacy as the first Ottoman caliph set the stage for the empire to take on an even more prominent role in the Muslim world. In conclusion, Selim I's legacy is that of a ruler who expanded the Ottoman Empire's territory, solidified its power, and established it as the dominant Muslim force in the Middle East. His military victories over the Mamluks and Safavids, along with his religious authority as caliph, laid the groundwork for the empire's golden age under Suleiman the Magnificent. Selim's reign may have been short, but his impact on the Ottoman Empire and its future was profound, and his legacy shaped the direction of the empire for centuries to come. The reign of Selim I, although short, set the stage for the flourishing of the Ottoman Empire under his son, Suleiman the Magnificent. Suleiman ascended the throne in 1520, inheriting a vast and powerful empire. He was not only a military leader but also a reformer, lawgiver, and patron of the arts. Suleiman's reign marked the height of Ottoman power as the empire continued its expansion while also experiencing significant cultural and intellectual growth. His leadership transformed the Ottoman Empire into one of the most influential and respected empires in the world, cementing the legacy of his father, Selim I. Suleiman's early years as sultan were marked by his determination to build on his father's conquests. The territories that Selim I had annexed, including Egypt, the Levant, and Mesopotamia, were crucial for the Ottoman Empire's position as the dominant Muslim power in the region. However, Suleiman had a clear vision of expanding further and securing the Ottoman Empire's supremacy over both the Islamic world and Europe. He sought to solidify his position as the rightful ruler of the Muslim world, just as his father had done, but also recognized that the empire's political and military power needed to be complemented by a more sophisticated and comprehensive administration. One of Suleiman's first major military campaigns was in Europe, where he sought to extend Ottoman control into Hungary. In 1526, Suleiman launched an invasion of Hungary, defeating the Hungarian forces at the Battle of Mohacs. This victory allowed the Ottomans to gain control of much of Hungary, and Suleiman secured his position as the dominant power in Eastern Europe. The defeat of the Kingdom of Hungary marked a critical moment in Ottoman-European relations, as it demonstrated the Ottomans' military strength and their ability to expand their influence into Central Europe. Following the Battle of Mohacs, Suleiman's influence extended beyond Hungary to other parts of Europe. His success in the region directly threatened the Habsburg Empire, which ruled over Austria and Spain. The Habsburgs had long been rivals of the Ottomans, and Suleiman's victories over the Hungarian kingdom put him in direct conflict with the European powers. In the 1530s, Suleiman embarked on a campaign in Central Europe, aiming to further solidify Ottoman control and confront the Habsburgs. His forces laid siege to the city of Vienna in 1529, marking the first major attempt by the Ottomans to capture the Austrian capital. Though the siege was unsuccessful, it sent a strong message to Europe about Ottoman power and ambition. While Suleiman's military campaigns in Europe were significant, his contributions were not limited to warfare alone. He was known as Suleiman the Lawgiver for his remarkable reforms in the empire's legal system. Suleiman sought to create a unified, codified system of laws that would govern all the territories under Ottoman rule. He harmonized Islamic law with civil law, creating a comprehensive legal system that would allow the empire to function smoothly and efficiently. His reforms improved the functioning of the judicial system, and he appointed skilled judges and legal scholars to ensure that justice was both swift and fair. This system of law became a cornerstone of the Ottoman Empire and is considered one of Suleiman's lasting legacies. Suleiman was also deeply committed to the cultural and artistic development of the empire. Under his rule, the Ottoman Empire experienced a golden age in art, architecture, and literature. Suleiman himself was a patron of the arts, and his court became a hub for intellectuals, poets, and artists. The architectural legacy of his reign is perhaps most famously represented by the works of Mimar Sinan, the chief architect of the Ottoman Empire, who designed several stunning mosques and public buildings during this period. The Suleimani Mosque in Istanbul, completed in 1557, is one of Sinan's masterpieces and remains one of the most important architectural landmarks of the Ottoman Empire. In addition to his focus on culture, Suleiman understood the importance of maintaining the empire's military strength and economic stability. He bolstered the Ottoman navy, which had already been expanded under his father, and strengthened the empire's dominance over the Mediterranean. Suleiman's navy played a key role in protecting the Ottoman-controlled trade routes in the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Under his leadership, the Ottomans continued their naval dominance, fighting against European powers like Spain and Venice, and expanding their influence in the North African and Arabian coasts. Suleiman's reign was not without challenges, though. As the empire expanded, it faced growing internal pressures and external threats. The rise of the Safavid Empire in Persia and the increasing influence of European powers, such as Spain and France, presented new challenges to Ottoman dominance. However, Suleiman's military acumen, diplomatic skills, and ability to balance power among the empire's diverse religious and ethnic groups allowed him to maintain the empire's strength and stability. One of the most notable aspects of Suleiman's foreign policy was his alliance with France. Despite being a Muslim ruler, Suleiman recognized the strategic advantage of forming an alliance with a Catholic power like France, especially in the face of growing Habsburg dominance in Europe. This alliance enabled the Ottomans to weaken the Habsburgs and create a more favorable balance of power in Europe. The partnership between the Ottomans and France marked a unique diplomatic move and highlighted Suleiman's ability to use alliances to further his empire's interests. Suleiman's rule also saw significant social and economic changes. The empire's wealth was built on the exploitation of resources from its territories, and Suleiman's administration encouraged agricultural production and trade, which helped stimulate economic growth. However, the empire also faced challenges related to the distribution of wealth, with increasing disparities between the elite and the common people. Despite this, Suleiman's reign brought prosperity to many areas of the empire, and his efforts to standardize taxation and promote economic stability helped sustain Ottoman power throughout much of his reign. In conclusion, the expansion of the Ottoman Empire under Suleiman the Magnificent was not only due to his military prowess but also his vision as a reformer, lawgiver, and patron of the arts. Suleiman inherited a strong empire from his father, Selim I, and took it to unprecedented heights. He left behind a legacy that shaped the empire's future and influenced the history of the Middle East, Europe, and beyond. Under Suleiman, the Ottomans became a dominant force, both militarily and culturally, and his reign marked the apex of Ottoman power, which would last for several centuries.